is Alfred Darlington, but I make music under the name Daedelus.
Alright.
That's a funny one because I'd like to say musician full-time, full stop, but the truth is you have to wear a lot of hats to do music. So, like, impresario, I run like a small label, imprint, and touring entity, and make productions both for myself and other people, and live ideas. But it's like you do all these different things, and that falls into the category of musician. So sometimes it feels just like musician's enough, but sometimes it actually takes a lot more. It takes a lot more period. This life is a strange one. Usually I'd say my music is electronically minded, but it pulls from a lot of different sources. So, like, it's difficult to put it in one box, and I know nowadays it's helpful to have like one idea, because you tell somebody, oh, it's trap, that means it's like 150 BPM, it takes from hip hop, all these things, it makes it easy, but that isn't truthful. I want to be truthful. I'm afraid I have to lie sometimes just to fit in, you know. It's like I'll play a rave and I'll say like I'm gonna play some EDM or something. It's like it's not the case. Play other weird stuff, I guess. Purpose of my music, I would like to say to inspire, but that isn't the purpose. Like, the purpose is whatever you're gonna do to it. Like, if you want it to be a love song, it'll be a love song. If you want it to be the soundtrack to your drugs or whatever, it'll be that. I mean, the purpose for me is to do something loftier, but that isn't. Whatever happens, it's all fair game. Music today is the same thing as music from yesterday, as it will be tomorrow. I mean, it's a very simple idea that permeates our life, that gives us more meaning. Like, every culture has music. It is incredible to think, though, there are young people being born, and there are old people dying, and there's soundtracks happening to all of it. Every single part of our lives now have a soundtrack. Before, you know, you go to a social dance and somebody would be playing an actual instrument, and that would be when you had music. I mean, maybe you could whistle, maybe you could kind of bring music in, but now it's truly like every moment there is somebody like bumping something in a car somewhere that is in your life, you know, and you have to deal with it. Amplification is a revolutionary concept. Yeah. I think it is incredibly meaningful to have a dream, first off, and then to actually have the confidence and spirit to follow that dream to a conclusion. Now, that isn't to say that following your dream will lead to a success. Success is like an overrated idea generally. I mean, most of the time failure is what actually is the better teacher than success. Success is easy. Success is, I think in a lot of people's minds, is some money and comfort. But when did good art come from money and comfort? Like, really rarely. So failure is actually like the more inspiring place. So follow your dream, but fail gloriously and do something better for it, maybe. I think I gained the most influence from a lot of classic composers. Not classical per se, but like the Rodgers and Hammersteins and John Barry and Michel Legrand and these people that made a lot of film music, because in a lot of ways what electronic music is doing is creating a scene. It creates a moment, like it infuses a dance floor sometimes, or like your headphones with like an idea. And who did it better but these film composers? You know, they really gave something to a moment on film. So I pull a lot from that inspiration. There's a lot of other composers and people that made a big difference in my life, but that's the stuff I'm aspiring to, so I think that's the better answer.
Okay, cool.
Touring's been good. I mean, a lot of where people are at nowadays are festivals. These smaller rooms, these kind of more intimate spaces, they're fantastic because you can really make contact with people, really have a conversation with them, like really get to know what they're in for. But people are saving up for Coachella. People are living their lives and they're trying to get out to these huge rooms with like hundreds of acts or whatever. And, you know, it's different. This is a different kind of scene, but I'm so proud that we're doing this. Sure. You know, it's funny, happiness is a funny thing to me. Happiness in general, because some of my most happy times in my life have been after some sort of tragedy or something difficult and you overcome. So, would it be happiness if it was all easy? It's like, no, not really. It's like it has to be through the trial and tribulation. But that being said, sometimes my most happy moments have come from really comfortable moments of sublimeness, where things are easy and effortless. And sometimes being on stage on a night where kids and and yourself are really like we're all together, and suddenly you go somewhere that you never expected, and it's a really happy moment I can point to. But that's only after years of having moments that aren't as connected. I think the only way I can appreciate that. So it's constantly like a fidget. You know, you have a few good gigs and you only want to live in good gigs, but it can't all be like that because you only go to the mountaintop so often. It's huge. Okay, well, if I could teach one thing to the entire world, I think it would have to be to like listen. But not listen exactly with your ears or your heart or some kind of silly metaphor, but like really actually like put yourself into the picture and take yourself into account for whatever's happening. You know, there's all these funny things that are constantly intersecting our lives, tragedy and illness and glory and like all these amazing emotions and stuff, but rarely does it actually ask us the question to think about ourselves. And that voice, that your internal voice, is what's going to make everything better. Like I really am this firm believer that everybody has its own sound, everybody has their own kind of way of looking at the world through your own lenses, and like if you could actually take that into account, the whole world would be richer for your opinion, but you have to find a way, your voice, to say that. So it's like everyone could be musicians that have relevance and weight and value, but you need to figure out the way that you're saying it rather than trap or EDM or all this stuff is happening, and that not only is just for music but for everything. If you can figure out the way that you express it and then at your best, it's perfect. But I'm not one to teach people hardly anything. I'm just doing my small bits.
Cool.
Did that make sense at all?
Yeah, that was good, man. That was great. I think that's a wrap.
Okay.
Cool.
Dude.
Thanks for the time, man.
Of course.
I'll message you the video once it's done and stuff.
Yeah, let me know what's good.